Welcome back to Gaming Mysteries, a segment where I talk about the various mysteries and interesting, mystery type things in the world of gaming. Yeah. Now, I usually don't open these videos in this manner, but since I'm treading different territory for this video, I felt it was necessary. See, ever since I talked about Herobrine last October, I've been bombarded with requests to do more gaming mysteries on creepypasta related subjects. One subject in particular you guys really want me to cover, and I will, just not today. Because seeing as how I'm doing what I'm going to call proper gaming mysteries on the beta of the original Pokemon games later this month, I thought it might be fun to explore talking about creepypasta. A Pokemon-related creepypasta, no less. We'll start off small and work our way up, because today on Gaming Mysteries, I'm talking about Pokemon Creepy Black. Now, before I go any further, I have to say that, one, since I haven't really talked about creepypasta much, I'm not entirely sure to tackle it yet, but we'll get there. If nothing else, this is just a fun, bullshit, bonus storytime episode, and those are always nice. And two, this video is not a screamer. I know a lot of you fear that watching videos like this will result in you needing new pants, but don't worry, I will never, repeat, never put a screamer in any of my videos. I despise screamers with a passion, and if you make them, you're an asshole. Just saying. So with that said, let's jump into the subject at hand. So some of you may be wondering, what is this Pokemon Creepy Black that you speak of, Yuriofwind? Well, Pokemon Creepy Black is an alleged bootleg version of Pokemon Red, but with a dark twist, because in said bootleg you would have the ability to kill trainers and Pokemon. Yeah, that's kind of messed up. The story is, and there's a lot of story, that a collector of bootleg Pokemon games came across a black cartridge which, upon booting it up, appeared to just be Pokemon Red, but with some, let's say, interesting features. Now, in most Pokemon games, you usually start off by going to get your starter Pokemon, but in this title, after doing so, you would have another Pokemon in your party named Ghost. Said Pokemon featuring the same sprite as the ghost that you can encounter in Lavender Town. And Lavender Town is a whole nother can of worms I'll get into eventually if anyone wants me to, but we're not going to talk about that today. Anyways, Ghost held but one attack, Curse, a move not actually present in Generation 1. What's interesting is that defending Pokemon can't hurt the Ghost Pokemon, the game saying that they were too scared to move, and upon using the move Curse, the screen would apparently cut to black, and you would hear the cry of the enemy Pokemon, though in a distorted manner. After the battle screen reappeared, the opposing Pokemon would be gone, and if done to a trainer's Pokemon, said trainer would lose a Pokeball, which led to the implication that the Pokemon died. Furthermore, after a trainer battle would end, battle commands would appear yet again. If you ran, the battle would end like normal, but you could also select Curse yet again, and if you do, upon leaving and re-entering the area, the spot where that trainer once stood would be replaced with a tombstone, again leaving the implication that they died. The person playing this title assumed that it was the game's gimmick, to have the ability to kill Pokemon and their trainers, which made for an easy game, but this apparently would change after beating the Elite Four. After viewing the Hall of Fame, the screen apparently cuts to black, and a text box would appear saying, "Many years later." Then the game would cut to Lavender Town with a single old man looking at tombstones. This old man is your character. At this point, you would have no Pokemon on you, and the overworld would be completely empty, featuring only the tombstones of the trainers that you used Curse on. Though you could go anywhere in the Pokemon world, granted your movement was very limited, and oddly enough, no matter where you went, you would only hear the music of Lavender Town on an infinite loop. Eventually, you would make your way back to Pallet Town, where the game first began, and upon entering your house, the screen would cut to black yet again, showing you a montage of all the Pokemon and trainers that you had used Curse on, and essentially killed. You would see yet another cut to black, and be presented with the battle screen. Your opponent is Ghost. Now, as I said, you don't have any Pokemon at this stage of the game, and you can't run from this battle, so all you could do was fight, and this would just lead you to performing Struggle, which didn't hurt Ghost, but did chip away at your own HP, and upon your HP reaching a critical point, Ghost would perform Curse on you, and you would be presented with the final cut to black, one that didn't end. You could apparently only get rid of it by turning off the Game Boy and restarting it, but New Game would be your only option as the game erases your file. This implying that Ghost killed you. Now, the prospect of this title is fascinating, and it's certainly creepy, definitely something you wouldn't see out of your average Pokemon bootleg, which usually consists of made-up Pokemon, but the burning question is is this even a real game? Well, some think it exists, though I, being too logical for my own good, think that this is total bullshit. It's really well-written bullshit, but it's still bullshit. Some may say, well, Yuriofwind, there's a picture of the cartridge. It obviously is real. Look, I could go spray paint a Game Boy cartridge black and Photoshop a label and just slap it on that, and it wouldn't take that much effort, so that doesn't really prove anything. Furthermore, the teller of the story can be quoted as saying, "Unfortunately, when I moved 2 years ago, I lost the game, so I can't provide you with screen caps." And this, my friends, is a case of pics or it didn't happen. I mean, that just sounds kind of fishy. Plus, how does one go about losing such a fucked up bootleg of Pokemon Red? That's something you keep in a safe or something like that. You don't just casually lose it. So no, Pokemon Creepy Black is a story and nothing more, until I'm proven otherwise. Though despite this, fans have been inspired to make their own recreation of Pokemon Creepy Black by hacking their own versions of the alleged game. That footage you can find on the interwebs, YouTubes, and stuff, if you're interested. But that's Pokemon Creepy Black, what I'm considering my first technical venture into the weird, creepy world of talking about weird creepypasta stuff. Yeah. While the premise of the game is very interesting, I can't help but jump on the logic bandwagon and dismiss this title as being real in any way, shape, or form. But I will say that it's one hell of a story, certainly a good read, so kudos to the guy who wrote it. Good job. It's good! This has been Gaming Mysteries. Thanks for watching.